Good evening. You're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. Sarawak is on the verge of a major infrastructure breakthrough with 9 massive bridge projects expected to be completed by the end of this year. Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Douglas Ukahambas says the state has directed the Public Works Department JKR to rigorously monitor contractors to ensure no delays.
Tahun ini kita memang yakin jembatan 9 buah jembatan, iaitu Batang Lupar 1, Batang Igan, Batang Kerian, Sungai Limbang, Batang Lupar 2, Batang Paluh, Batang Seribas 2, Sungai Sejingkat Bridge dan Batang Remungan Bridge. Kita yakin dapat siap pada penghujung tahun ini.
In another development, UGA announced that the Center for Technology Excellence Sarawak, or Centex BETONG, will finally get its own permanent building. Although it has operated in the region for 6 years, the BETONG campus lacked a fixed facility, unlike other established centers in Kuching and Muka.
Ya, Centex ini kita telah mohon, kita beritahu ia pun diluluskan dan tapaknya di Betong. Jadi kita mengharapkan perancangan pembinaan dapat bermula tahun ini supaya satu hari nanti Betong pun ada satu pusat latihan untuk kemahiran di kawasan ini.
Meanwhile, another state government initiative under the Ministry of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development is set to expand with a new one-stop early intervention centre, or OSEIC, in Betong. Minister Datuk Sri Fatimah Abdullah says the new branch is a direct response to the growing number of parents seeking specialised services aiming to bridge the accessibility gap for rural families across Sarawak Central and Southern zones.
Dari statistik yang kita terima, terutama sekali daripada Jabatan Kesihatan, mereka ada statistik anak yang dilahirkan OKU atau tidak. So kita bekerjasama. Daripada situ kita melihat keperluan di mana kita nak perluaskan. Alhamdulillah di bawah BIDA Datuk BIDA untuk kawasan yang akan memenuhi keperluan di kawasan zon Betong ini, yang Berhormat Datuk Razi menerapkannya dalam projek yang akan dari segi peruntukannya dari Betong Division Development Agency. Jadi alhamdulillah saya dimaklumkan tadi siting sudah. Jadi ini cara kita untuk memperluaskan perkhidmatan kepada ibu bapa yang mempunyai anak yang berkeperluan khas.
Tonight, all eyes are on Stadium Negeri as Kuching City FC takes on Duli Pengiran Muda Mahkota Football Club DPMM in a highly anticipated match which kicked off earlier tonight. The match was made even more special with the presence of Sarawak Governor Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar gracing the occasion. We go to our reporter Cheryl Shaminato, who is at the Stadium Negeri with the latest updates.
That's right, Lorenzo. I'm now currently at the Sarawak State Stadium where the heat is still ongoing with the sound and the boom behind me right now as a historic night tonight was graced by the Sarawak Governor Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar alongside wife Tuan Datuk Patighi Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi as Kuching City FC, local football, rolled into their first ever Malaysia Cup semi-final, potentially to play Selangor FC. Now tonight we spectate also a game against our Borneo neighbour tonight, and we can see thousands, I think more than 10,000 flocked to the Sarawak State Stadium tonight as early as 6 to have their cue on the historic night and the game here tonight as well. Now at halftime we spectated as well the head of state who led the round in one round of the stadium as Sarawak proudly stood. Sarawakians and locals stood behind the stadium and also against our Borneo neighbours as they delivered a very good marching band led by the St. Joseph's Band tonight. Now, Petro Shitembi set up the Ronanga for the opener as Captain James Okuosa struck just before the break. Now, after Brunei pulled one back, debutant Gabriel Philippe Aroca sealed it, and 70th minute history was made tonight with 6-2 on its aggregate. Now we can see that Sarawak's support has fueled the momentum with them roaring as well tonight. And the semi-finals for the Malaysia Cup awaits, as this is potentially their first, and we spectate more and more as well tonight. Now let's cross over back to Lorenzo for the rest of the updates on TVS Nightline. Happy Valentine's, Lorenzo. Over to you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Moving on to the next news. Police have cracked down on a suspected drug ring in Bau following a dawn raid near Kampung Pekalan in the area. 5 locals aged between 31 and 46 were hauled into custody as authorities intensify their offensive against narcotic abuse. Bau District Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Haidi Rahman says the operation was executed between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. by a strike team from the Narcotics Criminal Investigation Division. All suspects were detained under the 1952 Dangerous Drugs Act. Police are issuing a stern warning that drug abuse will be met with severe punishment, while urging the public to report suspicious activities to the NCID hotlines. A 35-year-old Rohingya man has been remanded for 6 days following the brutal killing of his 7-month pregnant wife in Kampung Makam, Johor. Magistrate Nur Khalida Farhana Abu Bakar issued the order at the Kota Tinggi Magistrates Court as police intensify the probe into the gruesome homicide.
The suspect arrived at the court complex at 10 a.m. under police escort wearing a lock-up attire to face the remand proceedings. Police say the 34-year-old victim was found in a pool of blood in a bedroom after being bludgeoned with a stone mortar. Investigators believe jealousy triggered the attack, classifying the tragedy among the district's most violent crimes of passion. The victim was discovered by the couple's landlord before police apprehended the suspect near the crime scene. The suspect now faces the death penalty or a maximum of 40 years in prison and caning if convicted under Section 302 of the Penal Code.
Federal police have launched a high-level investigation into an alleged defamatory report involving Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) Chief Commissioner Azam Baki, escalating tensions over claims surrounding his alleged share ownership. The case is now under the scrutiny of Bukit Aman's Classified Criminal Investigation Unit, Prosecution Division of the Criminal Investigation Department (JSJ), following a police report lodged today.
Authorities are probing an article published on February 10 by international news agency Bloomberg, which allegedly claimed that Azam owns 17.7 million shares in the company. This is confirmed by Bukit Aman JSJ Director Dato' M. Kumar after his department received a police report today. Investigations are being conducted under Section 500 of the Penal Code for defamation and Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998 for improper use of network facilities. Police are urging the public to refrain from speculation while investigations are ongoing, stressing adherence to the principles of criminal justice. Azam has denied the allegations, asserting that he no longer holds shares in any company and that all previous transactions were conducted transparently and in compliance with regulations. He says that his trading account is currently empty and verifiable through Bursa Malaysia. In a dramatic turn, Azam has also initiated legal action against Bloomberg, describing the report as misleading, defamatory, and damaging to both his personal reputation and the integrity of the MACC.
Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim announced an additional 20 million ringgit for Chinese national-type secondary schools nationwide to upgrade facilities and improve basic amenities. Anwar says the funding is part of a broader push to strengthen the education sector and ensure schools continue to be enhanced in line with the Malaysia Madani agenda.
Kena hampir Raya Cina, saya juga nak ambil kesempatan untuk umumkan ya, semua sekolah-sekolah Cina SRJKC ya, untuk dapat sedikit lagi tambahan bila ada keperluan. Ya, sama ada kemudahan asas dan sebagainya, kita berikan tambahan selain daripada 80 juta ringgit yang telah diluluskan. Sempena menghormati rakan-rakan dan sahabat handai kita masyarakat Cina, saya tambah 20 juta ringgit lagi.
Earlier in his speech, Anwar stressed the education system must produce students who excel not just academically but also disciplined, grounded in strong values and respectful across race and religion. At the same time, Anwar presented contributions to students representatives from his Tambun constituency. Around 3,000 students turned out for the program, which featured performances and the presentation of assistance.
Bangladesh's largest party is now conceding defeat despite earlier raising questions about the vote count, clearing the path for nationalist leader Tariq Rahman to take power as Prime Minister. Official figures from the Election Commission show Rahman's Bangladesh Nationalist Party, the BNP, swept Thursday poll in a landslide, the first national vote since the deadly 2024 uprising that toppled the iron-fisted rule of Sheikh Hasina.
It's a victory of the people of Bangladesh, and we are very confident this democratic transition will ensure a free land again where every citizen's rights and freedoms will be protected, and together we're going to ensure inclusive development, human rights, rule of law, and freedom of expression for Bangladesh to complete this democratic transition through free, fair, and credible elections that everyone anticipated. And we want that this will stand as the empowerment of the people.
The success of 60-year-old BNP chief Rahman marks a remarkable turnaround for a man who only returned to Bangladesh in December after 17 years in exile in Britain, far from Dhaka's political storms. His father, President Ziaur Rahman, was assassinated in 1981, while his mother, Khalida Zia, served 3 terms as Prime Minister and dominated national politics for decades. Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, who has led the country of 170 million as interim leader since the uprising, said Rahman would help guide the country towards stability, inclusiveness and development. According to the Electoral Commission, the BNP alliance won 212 seats compared with 77 for the Jamaat-e-Islami-led alliance.
US President Donald Trump says a change of government in Iran would be the best thing that could happen when asked by reporters if he wanted a regime change in Iran. According to Trump, the current regime has claimed lots of lives, and he seems to be serious about regime change after ordering a second aircraft carrier to head to the Middle East.
Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen. For 47 years, they've been talking and talking and talking. In the meantime, we've lost a lot of lives while they talk.
President Donald Trump also boasted about a secret U.S. discombobulator weapon that can block Russian and Chinese defense systems. Trump's comment at the Fort Bragg military base in North Carolina marked the first time he has talked about the mysterious device at a public event after previously letting some details slip in interviews.
You see that with what we did in Iran with the B-2 bombers. A lot of you were involved in that. And what we did recently in Venezuela, nobody ever saw anything like that happen. A Venezuelan general who was on the site, but he moved out fast enough that he lived, because most of them didn't. But he was on the site. He said, we were totally prepared. We saw the planes coming. We saw everything coming. You know, they're a good, strong force. And he said, we got hit like nobody's. They were hit from 17 different directions. They said, there's never been anything like that. It was over in like literally a minute. Everybody was running for the hills.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching. Happy Valentine's Day and have a good night.